Hello, everyone. This is Robert Garamore, and I'm recording this for Liberty University, History 530, American Christian Heritage. The group that I selected to discuss is going to be the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Phenomenal history, phenomenal people. The reason I selected it is because I am familiar with and had a lot of buddies growing up that were considered themselves Mormons, and pretty interesting group of people. First of all, they're family oriented. They have unbelievable work ethic. You won't ever see a Mormon slacker, and they're just beautiful people. Their community involvement, etc. Um, I don't prescribe to the Mormon doctrine. I believe that you're not supposed to add to the Bible. They do, and that's our difference of opinion. I believe that if you have faith in that, that's your faith, and it's an individual decision. That's my disclaimer. If you're a member of the LDS Church, this is my take on it, my opinion. To start out with is the history. The history is so American that it's incredible. It's going to start out in the Burnt Over District in 1823, which is right in the middle of our second Great Awakening here in our history. Upstate New York, a guy by the name of Joseph Smith is going to have a vision or meet a Moroni, an angel who's going to give him the Book of Mormon. He is going to attract a following. Obviously, he's very charismatic, and he's going to start the Church of Christ of Enoch, and he's going to move those guys out to Ohio. Now, at the same time, you're seeing all sorts of these revivalist communities that are getting thrown up. We have Brook Farm, we have Oneida, we have all sorts of different sects that are worshiping Christ in unique ways. Brook Farms is one. The Oneida communities out in Ohio, the Overland communities out there, the Millerites, etc. So this is not uncommon in this time period of history to just get your following and go start a new colony. There's also the Methodists out on the West Coast, but that's a different story. So he is going to have a great following, but he's going to run into headbutt out in Ohio because his little group, which isn't so small anymore, is annoying the local population. So he's going to take his group and move them out to Missouri. Same thing happens out in Missouri. Um, Now we're talking about a group of about 15,000 people. The problem out there was with Missouri is that they thought they were attached to an abolitionist type of group and sect. So they're going to end up moving to Nauvoo, Illinois. Well, what's going to happen up there now? We're going to fast forward the clock to about 1844. Is Joseph Smith and his brother Hiram, the leaders of the group, are going to get thrown in jail. And they say it's for treason, but what it is they snuck over and burnt the press and destroyed a printing press and newspaper that were printing bad articles about them. They got thrown in jail. The mob pulls them out of jail and kills them. So now they need a new leader. The new leader is going to become Brigham Young. Brigham Young has lots of controversy himself. And what's going to happen with him is he's going to say, I'm going to take my people and we're going to head out to Utah where no one's out there and we're going to do our own thing. This was a big schism of this original church because in the aftermath of all this, there's going to be 150 plus different sects of the Mormon church, the LDS church. You're going to have the Strangeites up in Beaver Island. You're going to have a group that went to Texas. You're going to have a group that went back to the original Zion. These are these are Joseph Smith's sons and wives that are going to move back to Ohio. There's going to be groups that move out to Utah, which is going to set up a whole new plethora of interesting American history. There's going to be 300 plus communities in Utah and basically from Arizona up to Canada and parts of Mexico. Well, Texas was Mexico at that time, that are going to have their individual ways of worshiping Christ in their own way. And what happens is if you don't agree with the church, you basically go start another one. Anyway, it's going to be a fascinating story going forward because now they're going to get into some hot water. They're going to apply for statehood. In 1846, 1847, we're going to move out to Desiree or Utah. And what's going to happen out in Utah is when they apply for statehood, the U.S. government has a problem with Mormonism because of the polygamy within their ranks. It's not a problem to have 16 wives. Actually, Brigham Young's going to have 37. So it goes a little deeper than that, but the United States is not going to grant them statehood until they abolish this um, polygamy situation. And guess what? These guys aren't willing to give up, wives 2 through 30. And so what's going to happen is they're going to get in a headbutt with the United States government over all this. And that in itself is going to lead to another big can of worms. It's going to put off statehood for these folks until 1896, when the church actually makes an agreement with the United States government that says, we do not agree with polygamy. It's a fascinating story. Thank you very much. I'm out of time.